Here, and I'm delighted to be joined by Scott and Lewis Lawton. How are you both?
We're good, thank you.
Good. Obviously, at the gym there, I can see, and so we'll start with some of your fighters at your gym, Scott, if that's okay, and we'll come on to your career shortly, Lewis. Noticed via your social media you've signed with Paddy Rainey.
Yes, Paddy's just come on board, yeah. Good fighter, Paddy is. I've known him for a long time, to be fair. And he's a bit, to be fair, I think he should have turned a couple of years before, but he's here now. And he'll do well, Paddy will. He's a good kid.
What weight will he enter at, and what can fans expect to see from Paddy? What's his sort of fighting style?
Paddy can box and punch a little bit as well, Paddy can. He's told me that he wants to win a Midlands area title, and then anything after that will be a bonus. So obviously, if he thinks he can do that, you're halfway there. As long as you believe in yourself, and I think Paddy's a good kid. I think he's got a good following. He's got a lot of supporters, and I think he'll do very well.
Run through some of the other fighters in your gym as well. Start with Jamie Stewart. How's Jamie getting on, and what you're expecting in 2022 from Jamie?
Jamie is desperate to get out. He's absolutely itching to get out. He wants to fight everybody. He's a throwback fighter. Jamie is. He believes the harder the fight is, the better he is, and he believes that everyone shouldn't, not just him. He thinks everyone should have 50-50 fights, and that's the way it should be. Obviously, a lot of fighters out there don't think the same as that, and he's a little bit. He's a little bit worrying when you're managing him and he's going, I want this kid. I'm thinking, no, we don't want him, Jamie. But yeah, he's a good kid, Jamie is, and he's desperate to win a Midlands area title. He is. He just wants to win a title of some sort, but he's itching for it. He can't wait.
Has this profile sort of risen since obviously beating Michael Hennessy Jr. and obviously getting the draw with Florian Mark, on a big stage?
Yeah, he's got massive. To be fair, what should I say? There's not enough space on his t-shirts anymore for his sponsors. They're everywhere. Every time he fights, he has a new t-shirt. Try make the sponsor a bit smaller so you got more of them on there. But yeah, no. Everyone's got behind Jamie, to be fair, and he deserves it. He's a good kid. He's lives in the gym. He loves a scrap, and he's definitely a throwback fighter.
Move on to Becky Ferguson as well. Again, what are you sort of expecting from Becky out in November last?
Well, when I first met Becky, she came to the gym and she was pregnant. She had a little baby inside her. And she come with I think it's a boyfriend at the time, who wanted to be a pro boxer. Anyway, he never actually went over and turned over. And then I got a phone call off Becky a while after saying, I always fancied doing a bit of boxing. Do you mind if you come down the gym, do a little bit of training? She goes, I like the way you trained a fella, and she would like to have a little go herself. So I didn't think nothing of it. Anyway, she came down, she did a bit of training. She had a couple of white collar fights. I asked her what kind of stuff she'd been doing in training and what defences she knows. And basically, she didn't know any defences. The only defence she's done in all of 5 white collar fights were this one, putting both hands up. So we started from the beginning and we went through all the defences and jabs and rights and all that kind of stuff. And then after a bit, she said, do you think I'd be able to go and be a pro boxer? And I went, well, you can't really say no. Anyone can be a pro as long as you can prove to the boxing boards you'll be safe in the ring. Anyway, she proper training hard. She was in all the time. She was driving from Shrewsbury to Stoke all the time. The next minute she went, you know what, Scott? She goes, I really fancy this pro game and I want to do it properly, so I'm moving to Stoke. She said, blood hours of Stoke, and then she's here now. And so when she started, it was, we just won't win a round. Then in the first fight, I think she won 2 of the rounds, or she drew a round. I thought she did better than a drawn round. I thought she won two rounds out of that, perhaps three. I thought she did very well. Second fight, she won a round and she drew a round, so we got a bit better, and she was a lot happier. Wait up. Right, what was I saying then? Yeah, so she drew a round and she won a round. Anyway, she started wanting to win more then. And I said, just keep working at it and eventually a win will come. And then on a third fight, thinking she gets a win. And so with Becky, we're going to have to find new goals for her now, because she's first was win a round, then she won one of them. Now it was win a fight. So I'm guessing she'd like an area title. You could get an area title quite easily out of Becky, I think, because she trains hard. She's in the gym all the time, and she's committed to boxing. The only trouble is she's learning on the job. Obviously, she hasn't had a massive amateur experience, so she is having these away fights, but she is improving from them. Like, no matter what the record says, she's still improving it, and every time she gets in the ring. And to be fair, having a girl boxer who's prepared to go away from home is like really, really good. Everybody's phoning for Becky all the time. I would say when in the gym, she's the most wanted fighter out of all of them. Everyone phones me 2-3 times a day, different people. And sometimes, like, if I think the fight's not quite right for them, I'll say to them it's not quite right. Then they just add the money in and put the money up, and you're going, no, it's not. It's not the money. It's the levels. Obviously, we've got to try and match her as safely as we can, because she is definitely still learning, and I think she can actually go on and win a Midlands area title quite easily.
Come on to Ryan Bivol. I think, Lewis, you've been sparring Ryan as well. I think I saw from your social media. How's Ryan around camp, and how's the spars?
Yeah, me and Ryan do a few rounds together. Ryan's good to have in the gym, so he's always making us laugh.
Well,
he trains hard as well, Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan does train hard. But I tell you what, you can't shut him up, mate.
He will talk.
He waffles. He just waffles, doesn't he?
Yeah.
He keeps everyone entertained in the gym. Sometimes he winds them up because he never stops talking. But in all, Ryan's a good job in the gym. I'm thinking he's understanding pro boxing is a little bit tougher than he was expecting when he first started. Like maintaining the weight and that kind of side of stuff. But his head's back on the weight side of stuff now. So I think he's going to do well, Ryan. He's definitely got potential. But whether he can harness that potential is up to him. But he's definitely got potential to go on and win something.
Cash Buttery as well, returning to
mate.
How's Cash?
Cash is quite a miracle, really, because like after his accident and stuff, he's in the gym now and he's doing bits of sparring and he's doing all sorts, not hard sparring, just a bit of technique work and getting the jab out and getting his parries going and just slipping. And he's talking about making a return sooner than as expected. We'll have to just see how that progression goes on. But at the minute, he's looking pretty good, to be fair. And he never shuts up. He's worse than Ryan, he is. Like, Cash can talk forever, but yeah, he wants fights starting next year, he says. So we'll have to just see. I think it might be a little bit too early for him, but we'll see how it goes.
Got a couple of characters there in the gym then, for sure.
Oh, definitely.
Someone who hung the gloves up not so long ago, it's at your gym, Jamal Lado, 8-2. Thoughts on him retiring and obviously how are things with Jamal after hanging his gloves up?
Well, to be fair, Jamal's just left. He does a kids class here on a Friday afternoon. Well, Friday tea time, does a kids class. He mentioned it to me about retiring 2 or 3 weeks before he actually did retire. And I just said to him, I'll do whatever you want, mate. Obviously, in boxing, you can't make somebody box. If they don't want box no more, that's it. So you should never push someone into boxing. will he regret it a couple of years down the line? He might do, but he's a switched on boy. Jamal is. He's got other goals in life. Jamal is one of them kids who's good at everything. Like he does what's it, grime music? What's it called?
Yeah,
He does grime music and rap. He does anything he wants to do. He can do. So I'm pretty sure. We might not see him boxing again, but we'll definitely see something else of Jamal do. He's very, very driven, and he's very good at whatever he does. Whatever he tries, he's good at. He's one of them people that get on your nerves, really.
We'll wish him every success. And obviously, if he's taking on a class in your gym and that, it's good to see. Obviously, still.
Yeah, he works with young kids, and they absolutely love him. He's really approachable, and he's like really nice and down to earth with them. The kids think he's great.
Super. Well, let's bring Lewis more into the conversation as well. Obviously, had a fight last weekend. Talk us through sort of the tournament and the final itself.
Well, yeah, last week was the national quarterfinals, semi-finals, and finals.
Yeah, you have 3 fights in 3 days, so it was busy.
Days. The quarterfinals was against a tough lad from. Oh, where was he from?
I think it was. I don't know, Portsmouth.
Portsmouth, I think it was. He was a tough lad.
Good kid, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think his name was Declan.
Declan Conley. Yeah, he was a good kid.
He's actually messaged me after the fight, congratulating me and wishing me the best.
Yeah, he was a really nice boy, wasn't he?
Yeah, and then the semi-finals was on a Saturday, and I fought a lad from Pinewood, I think it was.
Pinewood, one of them gyms what always got loads of lads in the finals. They got a lot of good kids, haven't they?
Well, this lad scared me a little bit because he had a full beard. He had a full-grown beard. I was a little bit worried.
Yeah, he had a man beard, proper one.
But yeah, we had a good fight, quite action-packed. Then I won that, and then I got through to the national finals, and I boxed a tricky southpaw from, I think, Kirkdale.
To be fair, he was very good, wasn't he?
I think it was.
Yeah, he was very good. Very good mover. Yeah, he was a good mover, wasn't he?
Yeah, and it was a close fight, and but I enjoyed the overall experience.
Me personally, I thought we won the first and the third. I asked Luce what he thinks. He just went, "Oh, I got worked." So
well, you never want to say that, but it was a close fight.
I thought it was close. I thought we'd done enough to get it. But
you've got to give respect to the lad because he did box well.
Yeah,
he moved well. He never got stuck on them ropes.
He had a game plan and he stuck to a game plan and he boxed a really good fight. And to be fair, he's done us a favour because he's given us something else to work on in the gym now. Obviously, when you think you know it all, you've stopped learning, you don't get any better. So this has been a little kick up the arse for us, really, and it's been a good little move. Obviously, Lewis is a year younger than the year he boxed that, so we've got it again in January. I think it's January.
The end of January.
End of January, start of February, starts again for him. But then he'll be at the top of his age group then, not the bottom of it. So we're going to have a good run on it again, I think.
I hope so.
Is that sort of the plan for the next 12 months to sort of stay amateur, try and go all the way again? And then what sort of is there any plans for not the immediate future to turn pro, but is that sort of the medium to long-term goal?
Yeah, the long-term goal is definitely to turn pro because I think my style of boxing actually suits the pro game better than the amateurs.
But
with the longer rounds, but I need to win something in the amateurs first.
Paul keeps on trying phone us.
But yeah, we need to win something in the amateurs first.
To be fair, I'd like you box for England, and I'd like you. I think you'd do well if you did box for England, and I think he'd put you in a better position on the pro side of stuff. I mean, but it's down to you, and it's whatever you prefer. Whatever, like, I would never push him into fights. He got to want to do it. It's like with him being diabetics wins our boxing in the amateurs, and then the year he turns 11, they changed the ruling for diabetics boxing in the amateurs. So then he went, "Oh, I want to fight then, Dad." And then that's how he started, because we never mentioned it before, because I thought it's not worth saying anything about boxing because he couldn't do it. And obviously it's changed, and we let you pick what you want to do, don't we, really, mate?
I've heard obviously a lot of good things about you, Lewis. Obviously, you've been sparring some decent names and more than holding your own in those spars and that. So how's the experience as a whole been? Obviously, being able to box, and then obviously for the past sort of few years, been obviously on the rise.
Boxing as a sport is great because I've seen loads of parts of England. I've met loads of people, done rounds with some amazing pros and amateurs, and you just meet a lot of people, and it's a good experience. It's always a good experience.
Yeah, you're supposed to. To be fair, you're supposed to some top kids. There've been some like proper boxing gyms where like the eye openers only when you go into like other people's gyms, you're like flipping. But
got a few stories, haven't we? Some funny things.
Yeah,
it's a laugh. I do enjoy it. I enjoy everything about it.
I mean,
whether that's the training or the fight.
He's come with me to some of the pro shows, like when I've had lads boxing, and he sort of sneaks in with us. Well, we buy a ticket, but I'm sort of sneaks him back with us, make sure like he's behaving himself, and you just love it, don't you?
Yeah.
He's I'm pretty sure he's definitely going to go pro at some point, but when we don't know yet. But the better the amateur career, the better it is for us.
Yeah, obviously timing's everything, isn't it? As well in the sport. If we can get your opinion on a couple of upcoming fights as well. First of all, obviously, Scott, you fought Amir Khan as a professional, and obviously just his fight with Kell Brook. Thoughts on Amir's chances in the Kell Brook fight, and how you think both of you think it's going to go down?
Well, to be fair, I boxed on the same show as Kell made his pro debut on a long time ago, and I've always fancied Kell beating Amir. I just thought he's the wrong sort of style to him, but then over the years, I think Kell's a bit more weathered than Amir. Like when Amir's been beat, he's been winning most of them fights. For the Seventh Crawford one, he's been winning most of them fights, and he's been stopped where he hasn't actually had a beat down or been beaten up. So I think Amir might be the fresher one, but if I'm honest, I wouldn't be putting any money on it. I wouldn't be.
Yeah, it's a close fight.
I wouldn't be saying, put 100 quid on this guy because he's going to win. It's an odd one, but that's why the public like it, because no one knows who's going to win. And I generally think they do not like each other, so that makes it even better as well.
Do you reckon that the fight's coming sort of? I know people saying it's coming a bit late, but do you reckon it's coming at the sort of right time in one sense as well? Because obviously, for both of them, it's where else would they have gone at this stage of the career? It's the biggest fight. It's still a big fight.
It's still a very good fight, and it's still worth a lot of money to him. It's not the fight it was, and I feel the timing of it has suited Amir better than Kell.
Yeah, Kell's had some hard fights, hasn't he?
Yeah, but you couldn't put money on any of it because Kell's a terrific fighter, and he's got power on both hands, and he's got timing, and who knows what's going to happen. But I think it's going to be a corker, to be fair. I think
we'll be watching, won't we?
Yeah. No, what it means to say is his dad will be paying for it, and Lewis will be watching it. Because Lewis doesn't spend any money whatsoever.
Well,
not a penny. Not a penny.
I'll treat you to this one, then. I'll treat you
Right.
to this one.
This is what happens on a Saturday morning, right? We'll do a kids class. He'll get paid out of the kids class. Then he does his PT with someone. He gets paid out of his PT. Then he goes, "Should we go to McDonald's on the way home, Dad?" I'll go, yeah, we'll go to McDonald's. I'll call him McDonald's. He'll tell me what he wants. I hold my hand out. He goes, "I've got no money." I goes, "He doesn't pay for them classes." He went, "I've got bank that, Dad. I've got bank that." And that's how he goes. That's why I spend all my money on him.
You wanted a McDonald's as well.
And a couple of other fights that are happening in the lightweight division, a division that's on fire at the top end at the moment this weekend. Obviously, we'll go to last weekend, first. George Kambosos beating Teofimo Lopez. So George Kambosos is, well, he holds four of the belts now. I don't know that thing whether he's undisputed or not with the WBC.
Well, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see that result coming out. I thought it was going the other way quite easily, and he smashed it. Then he smashed it.
Showed he's an elite level boxer, Cameron. So.
He's definitely shown he's an elite level boxer. Plus, he's mannerisms were good after the fight, and he wasn't a soul. He wasn't like. He was very respectful to the guy and stuff, and his dad was very respectful. I think he was a class act, to be fair. And I think when I was boxing, I was at the wrong weight because all the lightweights seemed to be dead good. Like I got stuck with a load of good ones. Now there's a load of good ones again.
And then obviously this weekend you've got Devin Haney, Jojo Diaz, and Gervonta Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz. Thoughts on both of them? How do you think they're going to go down? And ultimately, George Kambosos is the man with the belts at the moment. He is the man of the division. But who do you rank as a sort of number one lightweight in the world? I
think Tank's the number one at the minute, but I think Tank will smash his fight. To be fair, what do you reckon?
I still think people are rating Lomachenko as high as he should be.
Well, yeah, no one's talking about Lomachenko.
I think Loma's still
Garcia.
Still up there.
To be fair, there's a lot of good kids, isn't there? There's a lot of good kids. We just need them fight. We need them box each other. To get rid of these politics with like TV stations and who boxes on what platform. Just get them in there and let's see who the best is. He could be like, like the Fabulous Four, Hadler, Earns and all them. We could do that sort of thing with them and fight each other and see who is the best ones out of them. And they'll get very rich doing that and we'll get some great fights out of it.
That's it. It'd be nice to see them all eventually sort of fight one another, even though... Because, I suppose nowadays, I know there was a time where you sort of O was so important in boxing, that undefeated record, and people were sort of not afraid to put it on the line, but it was one of those things, I want us to remain undefeated. Whereas now I think that's sort of, in my opinion, it's sort of slid away from it. So to see them all get
I think the ultimate fighting, what the UFC have helped in that, because their best fighters fight the top ones, don't they?
You get forced to fight.
Whether they win, lose or draw, the top ones all fight each other. So they've all got losses on their records. But does it stop people watching? Not at all. They got massive viewing figures, so that's the way forward. That's Jamie Stewart. That is. That's the way he thinks. He thinks, he doesn't want to lose, but he's prepared to pick up a few losses along the way to get what he wants, because he wants to push the boundaries and get the bigger title shots. And I think boxing is going that way, and I think it's a good thing for us all, to be fair.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything else that you'd like to add at this stage?
No. He's just this is his first night back training now, isn't it?
Yeah, started back training now. I've had a week off.
Well, it's not really a week. He had a couple of days off, but we're going to do a little bit now and get ready for the next championships. I think they start in February, so we put the foot to the metal again and to get fitness back up, and we smashed it again.
Yeah.
Super. Well, Lewis, we wish you all the very best. Thank you to both of you for giving us some of your time tonight, and have a good Christmas and New Year if I don't speak to you before.
And you, well, anytime you need a chat, anything, just give us a phone and we'll get it on again.
Super, will do. Thanks very much for talking to Intu Boxing.
No worries. Thank you.